Jessica. Well, we're continuing this morning on our series, as Sharon mentioned earlier, Adventures in Resilience. It just felt like resilience is something we really need to all begin to re-energize and allow us and support us in re-engaging in life in ways that we haven't over this past year. And the focus of the book is activating our inherent 12 powers, our spiritual powers that are within us, to support us in doing that, in living a God-inspired life. One of the foundational Unity teachings is that we are born with every spiritual ability to support us in fully being and expressing God's light and love. We believe that at our very core, that we inherently have all of this within us. And although these powers are natural to us, they exist in potential, at least until we begin to recognize and develop and activate and express them. Our intention during this series is to do just that, to remember and to focus our time and our energy and our attention on activating these different spiritual powers at whatever our next deepest level is. I know many of you in here have been in Unity for a long time, and you've worked with these 12 powers before. So even if you have, this is about getting to that next deepest level, wherever you are on this journey. I have chosen to focus on activating my spiritual powers in supporting me to release 20 pounds that I've managed to say yes to over the last couple of years. And this past week, I've been working with the power of understanding and power that we spoke about last week. And I really, as I've worked with each of these powers, have gained some insight that I hadn't necessarily had before. So it happens no matter what age you are, you can still gain insight and wisdom and understanding about you. Through the power of understanding, as I really focused on that, as I sat with that, I uncovered a belief, and this started to happen sort of at the beginning, but I've got a lot more clarity. This belief that I adopted in my childhood, probably was told in my childhood, other people's needs are more important than your own. And as I thought about this even more, I realized a pattern had been set up, at least for me and my life, that early on, when I put others' needs before mine, or as a child, when I was good, when I was being good, then I would get a reward. And it usually was in the form of a sweet treat, as children really like. Eat all your dinner, you get dessert. I don't know how many of you had that in your lifetime pattern, or go to sleep right away and you'll get a good treat tomorrow. So that was our, if you guys will just go to bed. And I can see my mother exasperated and exhausted. She had 4 of us in 6 years. I can only imagine what that experience was like, but it's like, just go to sleep. I'll give you some candy tomorrow if you'll go to sleep. Or with my dad being a minister and my mother singing in the choir, we would all sit out in church, because in the Presbyterian church, you went to church. There was Sunday school before church, and then you sat in church, no matter what age you were, every Sunday. So we had a guy that, if we were good, he'd be feeding us candy as we were sitting there, Werther's. It was Werther's Originals. That's what he usually had with us, or there to support us. So I realized that this is a pattern that unconsciously got set up in me and is still active when I'm triggered, when it's like, well, I deserve a treat. I'm not conscious of it, but it shows up. And I also recognize that this isn't about blaming, that my mother had that pattern set up in her by her grandmother, because whenever we'd go to visit there, I'd hear the same things. And she had a big bowl of those Brock's mixes. Do you remember those? The white chocolate nougies, those were the best. And, I was just thinking as I was sitting out here, very honestly, I may have set that pattern up in my daughter. Not consciously, not intentionally, but it's when we're unconscious, the kinds of things that we allow into the patterns of our life. Whether it was this or something different, I encourage you to just start to look at, where did that come from? Where did that belief come from? And where do those patterns come from that may not serve me in my highest and best way? And with this spiritual understanding and continuing to draw upon strength, and then really being focused on this center of power, my ability to choose, my ability to say yes or to say no, that is mine, regardless of what anybody else thinks or feels, I've had a pretty successful week. So I hope that you are continuing, whatever that area is that you want to focus on, to allow these powers to really support you in getting clarity, and then support you in being able to make the shifts that are right for you. This week, we are exploring the powers of love and imagination. So this is our fifth and sixth power that we're looking at this morning. Love is one of those really, I think, overused and misunderstood words in our language. It means so many different things to some people, and for some people who've had it misused, it is not a comfortable or even pleasant word in their life. It can be the most exquisite feeling when we fall in love, and it can also be used as a weapon. Like, I will love you if you do what I want you to do, and if you don't, I will withdraw my love. When love is merely understood as a feeling, whether it's affection or desire or attachment or devotion, it makes sense that love can sometimes get warped. We even have sometimes this warped sense of how God, quote, loves us. Sometimes we think, well, what have I done that now, even though God loves me, I'm having all of these experiences? So the question is, if divine love is not a feeling, what is it? Charles Fillmore wrote, and I want you to put your ears on, this may stir something up in you, but just listen. God does not love anybody or anything. God is the love in everybody and everything. Listen to that one more time. God does not love anybody or anything. God is the love in everybody and everything. God is love. Humans experience this love by participating and connecting with that essence, that energy of love. We have an experience of it in our humanness. And that is how God expresses, creates, and experiences, I'm going to say, itself. This kind of love is magnetic. It calls forth harmony, and it is the unifying energy in each of us. We often talk about the Trinity of Trinities. Perhaps you've heard this, because as the Bible talks about God the Son and the Holy Spirit as the Trinity known in traditional Christianity, we often talk about different ways of understanding that, whether it's mind, idea, expression, or body, mind, soul, or superconscious, conscious, subconscious. There's all different ways of looking at it. And as I was working on this week, I thought of this way of understanding the Trinity, because God is that very essence of love. God is the energy of love. And Jesus was that love in its full expression. Jesus was the vehicle wide open that could fully express that love in a way that many had never seen, and probably many even since have not experienced. And the Holy Spirit is that divine potential of that love energy in each of us. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Now, it is true that Jesus and those around him often referred to God as Abba or Father in the scriptures. And I believe that Jesus did this because that was the level of understanding of the people that he was talking to. That was the level that they could grasp at that time. It is hard for us to fathom the way that people understood and saw the world and themselves thousands of years ago. They didn't have the same level of scientific understanding. So everything was quite mystical and magical the way it happened. But it was what people could grasp at that time and identify with. For I can imagine Jesus showing up to a group of shepherds and go, God is energy. They didn't even know energy was not even a concept that they could grasp at that time. I think it was because of that, not necessarily the way that Jesus experienced God, not because Jesus believed God was some magnified version of a human being, the traditional picture of the old guy up in the sky somewhere sitting on his throne who loved us, again, when we were good and was not so happy when we were not good. That was kind of the concept. That's the Sunday school concept that I got, and I've been working to try and expand my awareness of that. We know today from science that everything is energy. Everything. It just vibrates at different levels. Some levels seem very solid and dense, like this table, but this is just energy. It's energy that's been slowed down to a certain vibrational rate. And the stars are energy, and water. I love water because it's something that we can grasp. It changes forms. It's all energy. Sometimes it's solid, sometimes it's liquid, sometimes it's a gas, but it's all water. It's all energy moving at different rates. God is the very essence of that energy, moving in and through all things. Charles Fillmore believed that if we ever got to the very essence of matter, in his lifetime they had just discovered the atom, and that was what we knew to be the smallest, but now we know there's even smaller, even within the atom there is more. That's not the very end of matter itself, that's where we would find the God particle, the energy of love. Spiritual love's natural state is harmony, as I talked about before. And Paul talked about this as more of an experiential thing. He says, above all, clothe yourself with love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony. I think there was a grasp of what the truth of this was. Perhaps you've had an experience of that, being in the presence of someone who was fully in that vibrational energy of divine love. I've had a few experiences of it. One happened here many years ago when we were doing a world religious series, and we brought in a rabbi and a lama and an imam, and someone, I think, from the Hindu tradition to come and speak with us and share, and we even had a whole food thing beforehand. Maybe some of you remember that. It was really a fun series, an educational one. But this lama that came from Dallas, I don't know, he just had this energy about him that you just were drawn to it. You just wanted to bathe in it, to hang out in it. He laughed in such a way that it just lifted your spirits. I shared with you a few months ago about my experience with the Dalai Lama, and even though I wasn't in close proximity to him, I was a number of hundreds of feet away from him, being in that presence was just something that was almost indescribable. But I know it was that pure, resonating energy of love. I imagine that it was what many people felt in the presence of Jesus. Is the builder of your dreams, and it can also be the architect and builder of your nightmares, if you allow it to be. Everything that has formed around us, everything, from, again, this table to all the things that we experience in life, first started as a thought in our imagination. Charles Fillmore wrote that all things material are first thought pictures carved by the imagination from omnipresent thought substance. That was a word he liked to use a lot, thought stuff. To bring our dreams from our imagination into our experience, it calls us not only to start with this power of imagination, but it usually requires all of our powers to be supportive of it in bringing it into full form. You know, I read this story. It was about a woman named Florence Chadwick that illustrates how important it wasn't the shark or the fatigue that defeated her. It was her inability to see the outcome that would have fueled her strength and enthusiasm to finish. And I think sometimes the same thing happens to us. We imagine our success. We go through this process. We imagine what we want in our minds, and we may even begin to bring it into form. And then we let the fog of doubt or fear or disbelief cloud our vision, and we don't make it to that finish line. Now, the caveat to this story is that Florence did take that experience and that determination, and she tried again. And this time the fog was just as thick as it was the first time that she tried it. However, this time she held in her inner vision that finish line, imagining that it was just a little further down the road. And she did become the first woman to cross the channel, and in fact did it eclipsing the men's record by 2 hours. So the imagination, when we can keep it and allow it to be in service to us, becomes a miracle working tool, one that allows us to create the inner pictures that guide our steps to make and to bring those visions into our experience, into our circumstances. So as we take this awareness, I'm going to invite you to take these powers and allow them to be activated within you today as we move for a time into meditation. And so just for this next few minutes, I invite you to set aside anything you might be holding on to. If you're comfortable, to close your outer eyes and to allow yourself to feel the support of the seat below you so that your body can relax into it. With your feet firmly planted on the floor, feeling the energy of your body fully rooted in that heavenly soil. Allow yourself to become aware of your breath as it flows in and out of the body. And with each breath that you take, you feel your mind, your heart, and all of your physical presence relax. And know that in this moment, you are safe. There is nothing that needs to be done, nothing that needs to be solved. Give yourself permission to just fully be present. And see if you can't focus your attention on the energy center of love within your body. In and around your heart, where it's physically located. You might even want to put your hand over your heart space to allow yourself to more fully attune into that heart center of power. and envision a soft pink glow beginning to emanate from this heart center. As you breathe into this heart space, that pink glow begins to expand and grow, filling not only your chest, but moving out until it fills your entire being. From this power center of divine love, claim that divine love is my name. It is my true nature. It is my God nature. I gratefully acknowledge that the well of love can never run dry, for my source of love is eternal, is everywhere and in every moment present. I call forth from within me that unifying, harmonizing power of love. And as I recognize and activate it in myself, I see it in others. I see it in all of life. And I send it out as my great gift to the world, to those that I love and are part of my spiritual journey. I send it out to those who I find myself challenged sometimes. I see this pink, energetic light blessing my dreams and blessing all people and all of life. Now see if you can't shift your attention up into your head space to the center of your brain. That space right center between your ears and your eyes. Energize and engage ourselves back into the service, and it looks like we may have been having some technical difficulties out there. That's what the comments are. I don't know how long ago this was, but I think we're back out there. So, anybody have any question, comment, desire for clarity about what I've shared this morning? This is your time. I've been that clear? Isn't that amazing? And I don't have any coming out from my Facebook people. I'm going to give it 30 more seconds of silence to see if that prompts anyone. Oh, see, there's, okay, yes. Well, thank you for that. Audrey was saying that she appreciated the understanding and the idea that this is not really real, although it seems very solid and real to us. But we know that if a fire swept through here, and that will never happen, we do not call that into our field of possibilities, but if it did, this would transform. It would no longer be solid, looking like this is a table. It would form, the energy of that would form into something else, as would everything else in here. So it's always that movement of energy, sometimes at a very slow and dense level, and sometimes at a high vibrational energy that we can't even see, that is beyond. I mean, we know the air is here, but right now we cannot see the air. Now, if it became foggy, we have a little bit more idea of what that air looks like. I'm just checking to see here. I've just got good, enjoying, but no questions on here. Alrighty then, we're going to wrap it up. And here's some music to enliven us. So,
Band back up here. Pull the band back up here. Everybody find a spot, find a spot. We're going to experiment with this song. Yeah, we're going to experiment. Yeah, we're going to experiment. When I saw this song done, like, I don't know, 10, 11 years ago, I guess. I mean, this song was like 30 minutes. Lenny Kravitz did this song, and he was like, I think it was Starplex at the time is what they called it. And, he like stage dove off this way. And they passed it for like 20 minutes as the whole crowd is singing, "That love." We're not going to try that this morning. Y'all don't have to line up. But it was really cool. But the whole place was like this for 20 minutes. So, okay, Bob. We're going to try it here. Is everybody on? Is everybody on? All right. We're going to try it. Here we go. And love is gentle as a rose, and love can conquer any war. It's time to take a stand. Brothers and sisters, join hands. We got to let love rule. Love rule. We got to let love rule. Love rule. And love transcends all space and time. Love can make a little child smile. Can't you see this won't go wrong? But you got to be strong. We can't do it alone. We got to let love rule. Let love rule. Let love rule. We got to let love rule. Let love rule. Let love rule. We got to let love rule. We got to let love rule. Let love rule. Let love rule. We got to let love rule. Boom.
all right. That's me coming up here next. Okay. I know, one of these days I'm going to get up and dance. You guys are very Presbyterian. I just want you to know that. We're going to loosen y'all up. Because it's an experience. Yeah. Well, as we prepare now, and you're going to get up and come and share your tithes, your gifts, and your love offerings, see if you can't bring that energy, that vibration of love and gratitude flowing in and through you, seeing that flow of abundance flowing in and through your life. After we bless our gifts, the ushers are going to invite you to come forward row by row, and you can place your gift in the larger basket, and then in the smaller basket you can receive, because we all want to be in this flow. It's not just about giving, it's also about receiving. So you can receive an affirmation to support you for this week. And even if this is not your Sunday to share, or you give electronically, which a lot of people do these days, we still want you to be in that flow, to feel and experience that flow. So you can simply add your energy to the basket by placing your hand over it, or there's some purple cards in the pockets on the different pews that you can bring and use that representative to your giving energy today, and then receive an affirmation. If for some reason you're physically not able to come forward, you can still participate. There's a basket by the outside of the door that you can drop your contribution off. And to support those of you who are watching remotely so that you can be a part of this flow of giving and receiving, on our centerofunity.org/give, where you can go to the homepage and click give. If you scroll down, you will see affirmations available for you. There are 4 hidden ones. You pick the image that resonates with you the most, and you will receive an affirmation, and those are going to change each week. So you will, and they're the same ones that we're using here. So you will get to pick your affirmation, even if you're not here physically present with us. So let's take the gifts or the energy of those gifts that we give so willingly and freely to Center of Unity into our hands, into our hearts, and bless them together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I receive, and all that I am. Boy, I'm going to get it right one of these days. It's all good. I am, I give, I receive. However that works. All right.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, the joys of Sunday mornings in Spanx. If you're watching us for the first time, we're glad you have chosen to join us. Please visit the website, centerofunity.org, and fill out the Connect card you'll find there. If you're visiting us in person for the first time, please complete one of the visitor cards in the back of the pew in front of you and drop it off at the welcome desk or in the basket at the back of the sanctuary. We welcome all of you. Today, for our appreciation, we remember and appreciate and rejoice in all of the new people who have joined us since we've opened our doors again. We're grateful for your presence. We rejoice in it. We hope you found something that speaks to you in our service today. We look forward to a great relationship and walking with you on your spiritual journey. And so, to our new people, we love you, we bless you, we truly appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Namaste.
This is where we play the announcements. There we go.
Here's what's coming up at Center of Unity. Tuesdays from 6:30 to 8 p.m., Michelle Accardo hosts the Compassionate Communication Group on Zoom. We'll practice nonviolent communication by receiving empathy and getting clear on feelings, needs, and making doable requests. Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the COU app. Join Rhonda Lightfoot on the second Mondays at 7 p.m. as she leads a guided meditation and discussion group. There will be an opportunity to journal, so bring something to write on and meet in the sanctuary. Feel free to bring a blanket or a cushion. Be sure to stop by the bookstore to take advantage of this month's 10% discount on the book, What If It All Goes Right? Creating a New World of Peace, Prosperity, and Possibility by Mindy Odlin. Adult Sunday School meets after church on Zoom from 12 to 12:45 p.m. Be sure to join us as we discuss today's message. All are welcome to join. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the COU app. Join Reverend Linda every Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. for the Metaphysical Bible Interpretation class, where we refocus our attention on the good that God is making available to us now. Each class is self-contained. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the COU app. Every Sunday, we gather on Zoom before church to say hi and catch up. Come join us from 10 to 10:25 a.m. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the COU app. There are multiple ways you can make a donation to Center of Unity. You can drop your donation off at the church, mail it to our P.O. Box, visit our website, use the COU or Venmo app, or you can text 817-606-8768 and follow the prompts. Your continued support is greatly appreciated.
All right, everybody, we just want to say thank you for joining us again today. We hope you'll join us back again next Sunday. I want to say one more quick thank you to our band. Can y'all give a round of applause to these guys? They are here every Sunday, and they get thrown something and say, here's what we're going to do, let's go, and they just jump in there and go for it. So, guys, thank you so much. Y'all are all just really great and professional. All right, let's do our peace song, Bob. You can stand up. Here we go. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And so, as we go into this week activating our powers specifically around love and imagination, we go knowing our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God, and the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a beautiful week, everyone.